my name is Professor Rad, and in this video, we're going to be writing numbers in standard form or writing them with their names. So if you haven't watched the video about the names of whole numbers, you might want to pause this video and go back and watch that one first. So I'm going to step out of the way. If you want to copy down this example, feel free to do so now. You can pause the video and copy it. And when you're ready to proceed, then we can work through it together. Okay, so for this first part of this example, we really have two problems we're working on. So for part A, they want us to write 41,602,000. This is the number we're looking at. And they want us to write that in standard form. So these are the words that jump out at me. So standard form just means like a normal number. So for example, if I look at the part B here, this is in standard form. It's written like a normal number is written. So they want us to take this phrase, which is actually kind of a combination of numbers and words, and put it in standard form. So to put a number that's been in words into standard form, you want to think about where your furthest period is, starting from the right. And so to do that, I like to write out dashes to help me fill in the spaces. You don't have to do this part, but it helps me to visualize the number. So for part A here, we have 41,602,000. So because we're starting out with a million, I know that I'm going to have to put some dashes or dotted lines up to the millions period. Remember that a period is a group of 3 digits. So I'm going to start out with just one period. If I have just one period, that's going to be the ones. I need to go up to millions. So this is not going to be enough. So I'm going to put a comma and then 3 more. So now this would be the ones. And then the next period would be the thousands. So thousands is not going to cut it. We have to go up to millions. So put a comma and 3 more lines. So this gives me the ones, the thousands, and the millions. So we want to be in the millions. So now I know I have the right number of dashes. So that's my initial setup. Then we have 41 million. So I need to fill in some of the blanks with 41. And there are 2 ways we could do that. So this is the millions period. I could either do a 4 and a 1 here, or I could do a 4 and a 1 here. So I have to decide, where did the 4 and the 1 go? So if we had 141, then it would be easy, right? Because we would have 141. But since we just have 41, we have to figure out where it goes. So when you have a 2-digit number or a 1-digit number, you want to make sure it's aligned all the way to the right of the period. So in this case, I'm going to make sure this 41 lines up with the right-hand side here. So I'm going to have 41 million. Again, you could think of this as having like 0 hundreds. So I need 0 $100 bills, 4 tens, and a single. Then I'm going to move to this next one. We have 602,000. So we have 1,000. So I've got to write that in the thousands period. So I'm going to write 602 in the thousands period. And then after that, there's nothing else. So I do need to fill in these blanks with something. So when you have a situation like this, you can fill in the blanks just with extra zeros. Now, before we move on to example B, let's look at a slight variation on example A, just so we have another example kind of similar to it. So kind of a follow-up example, this would be one you could try on your own. Let's say we had 602,041. So think about how you might write that number out. And you can pause the video here if you wish to figure it out. And then you can unpause and we'll work through it. Okay, so I'm going to work through this one now. So again, we've got millions. So that would be ones. So we have ones, thousands, got to get to million. So ones, thousands, millions, we're in the right spot. We have 602 million. So we have 602 million. And then there's something weird going on because then we have just 41. So we don't have 41,000. So that means we don't have anything in the thousands period. So we're going to have a bunch of zeros here because there's nothing in the thousands period. And then the 41 is going to be in the ones period. And just like we did up here, when we put the 41 all the way to the right, we're going to put this 41 all the way to the right as well. And then we're going to fill in that blank with a 0. So this is how I would write out 602,041,041. All right, let's move on to example B. Here. So B says we want to write this number in words. Okay. Oof. All right, so to write this number into words, I'm going to mark out my periods because I know that my period names impact how I write the name of a number. So 0, 2, 3, that's in the ones. This 100, that's in the thousands. These zeros, that's in the millions. And then this number must therefore be in the billions period. So remember, when we're writing out the name of a number, you're going to write out the number that's like the 3-digit number in the period, followed by the period name. So here I have a 6, and it's in the billions period. So I'm going to start out by writing 6 billion, and then a comma. Now, in this number, we have 3 zeros, so there's nothing in the millions period, so I don't have to write anything for millions. Here, though, if I look at this set of 3 digits, that would be 100. So that means I have 100,000. We'll write 100,000 because it's in the thousands period. And then in this final period, in the ones period, we have 0, 2, 3. So that's going to be 23. Oh, 23 is a Dumpty-Dum kind of number, follows that pattern. So we have to hyphenate. So we get 20 hyphen 3. And remember, for the ones period, we don't write ones afterwards, we just leave it alone. So if I were to say this number, I would say it as 6,100,023. All right, so hopefully this video helped you a little bit in moving from words into standard form or standard form into words. In our next video, we'll be doing some practice with place value. So I'm looking forward to seeing you then. In the meantime, have a wonderful day. Bye for now.